The atmosphere inside the WrestleDream 2025 arena reached fever pitch as the tag team champions Brodido, composed of Bandido and Brody King, successfully defended their AEW World Tag Team Championship against the formidable duo of Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita under the banner of the Don Callis Family DCF. The victory, achieved at the St. Louis-based preeminent pay-per-view event, underscores both the ascendancy of Brodido and the deepening fissures within the DCF camp. The stage was set. WrestleDream 2025, held on October 18 at the Chaffetz Arena in St. Louis, Missouri, featured a stacked card of high-stakes matches, but arguably none carried as many narrative threads as the tag title bout. Brodido entered as reigning champions, having captured the belts in August at the joint AEW-NJPW Forbidden Door event. Their challengers, Okada and Takeshita, were aligned under the DCF umbrella, one of the promotion's most prominent stables, but their teamwork had been visibly shaky in the weeks leading up to this night. On the October 7 edition of AEW Dynamite, Okada and Takeshita earned their title shot by defeating Brodido in a special stipulation eliminator match. Yet during that contest, the seeds of discord were planted. Takeshita accidentally, or perhaps mysteriously, struck Okada off the apron, and Okada tagged himself in to win. Thus, as they walked to the ring for their championship opportunity, the dynamic was clear: two of DCF's elite, but with very real tension simmering beneath the surface. The match: grit, strategy and internal tension. From the opening bell, Brodido were methodical, King using his size and power to throw the challengers off balance, Bandido exploiting his speed and aerial skill. They attacked the frequent target, Bandido's shoulder, which had been injured in recent weeks. Okada and Takeshita, for their part, attempted to execute the DCF blueprint: brandish superiority, isolate a champion, and strike decisively. For stretches they appeared in sync: double-team sequences, isolating Bandido, and even flattening King with coordinated offense. However, the cracks soon showed. A pivotal moment, early in the third quarter of the match, occurred when Okada delivered his signature Rainmaker clothesline, but unintentionally collared Takeshita in the process. The camera caught Okada flashing a smirk rather than concern, and Takeshita's reaction was telling: a flash of anger, a glare, and immediate refocus. In the ensuing sequence, Bandido caught Takeshita with a high-flying shooting star press, followed swiftly by a devastating 21-plex on Okada. The pin was secured. Brodido held the belts. What this means for Brodido? This victory solidifies Brodido's position atop the tag team division. They faced arguably the toughest possible challengers. Okada and Takeshita bring unarguable credentials, and yet they emerged intact. For Brody King, it's further validation as a heavyweight force in AEW. For Bandido, his multi-promotion prowess, including his Raw World Championship reign, sees yet another feather added to the cap. In short, Brodido are not merely riding a wave, they appear to be setting a standard. Their tag division vault has gained heft, their title reign now carries serious legitimacy, and challengers will be forced to raise their game significantly. The fallout: DCF's internal rift grows. If the reign showed the edge and poise of Brodido, backstage and post-match the real drama took shape around the DCF. Okada and Takeshita, though aligned, clearly operated with misgivings. The Rainmaker incident wasn't just accidental, it was symbolic. Some observers now believe Okada used the mistimed move to send a message. What does this mean for the Don Callis family? For months the DCF had functioned as a singular thread within AEW: elite athletes, cross-promotional star power, a veneer of cohesion. But WrestleDream peeled back that veneer. Okada and Takeshita, two of the faction's pillars, are now visibly at odds over position, respect, and championship opportunities. With Brodido still holding the tag straps, the DCF's next steps must be carefully managed. Will Okada and Takeshita maintain their partnership for a shot down the line, or will their internal friction become the focal point of a new feud? It's probable AEW will exploit the tension, possibly leading to a split-up, a title shot for one member, or perhaps even an intra-faction feud for supremacy. Bigger picture: tag division and factional storytelling. In a broader sense, the tag division of AEW now has a strong anchor. Brodido's win adds to the credibility of the belts, which had been criticized in some quarters as being underutilized, especially when teams failed to feel like legitimate threats. With Brodido standing tall over Okada and Takeshita, the division's credibility has increased. Also noteworthy is AEW's use of factional storytelling here. The DCF subplot layers complexity into what might otherwise have been a straightforward title defense. Wrestling fans increasingly expect nuance not just in moves but in character dynamics, and this match delivered that on multiple levels. What's next? For Brodido, expect more high-profile defenses. With the belts now safe, their challengers will emerge from both inside and outside AEW, tag teams seeking breakthrough moments, perhaps even cross-promotional entrants given Bandido's global standing. For the DCF, expect the cracks to widen. AEW might headline a tag or singles showdown between Okada and Takeshita, using the DCF's collapse as a transitional mechanism. Alternatively, the group might simply splinter, opening avenues for fresh storylines, betrayals and new alignments. For the AEW tag scene, with this match raising stakes and setting tone, future tag title bouts now have a higher bar. Other teams will have to bring not just match quality but psychological complexity, chemistry and story. Final thoughts. WrestleDream 2025 provided one of its standout moments in the Brodido vs. Okada and Takeshita tag title match. The champions delivered, the challengers brought pedigree, and in the end it was the cohesion of Brodido and the disarray within the Don Callis family that determined the outcome. Brodido retained their titles, and in doing so, sent a message. Meanwhile, the DCF may have won the match for the right to challenge, but lost something even more valuable, unity and momentum. As the reign of Brodido continues, and as the DCF sorts itself out or falls apart entirely, the tag team scene in AEW looks poised for compelling chapters ahead.